guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing what's in my KU library. So I have downloaded in my Kindle Unlimited. In Kindle Unlimited right now, I was going to include Audible, but I have like 20 books actually. Like my KU library is full, so I'm just going to stick to this. I also have a lot of books downloaded on Audible and Hoopla right now. We're just going to be sticking to KU. I also want to mention I'm going to be having a couple back-to-back like TBRs coming up because we're going to be having my June TBR coming up, which is crazy. I'm going to be posting my June TBR soon and wrap up for the month. So sorry for like kind of like the back-to-back kind of TBRs. But I'm excited. I have some good books kind of downloaded right now that sound really good. Some books I haven't really heard people talk about. So I'm feeling pretty good about the books I have downloaded right now, and they all seem very interesting. I don't know a lot about some of them. The first book I have downloaded is Stay With Me by Shay Ruby. I actually saw Lizelle from Lizelle Loves Books post about this on her Instagram, and Lizelle always like finds the best books to read. And she reads a lot of like emotional angsty books, and I think that this is an emotional angsty book. I'm really into sports romances, which is something you guys will see a lot of. There's a pattern. I've read some really great sports romances, and there's one romance I cannot talk about yet because it's come out for a little bit, and it just has me hyped for like all the sports romances. But this is a hockey romance. This is also like nurse patient, and this is like kind of dark or emotional. I don't know if it's dark, more so like emotional. I know this has domestic violence. Like our heroine is on the run from her abusive boyfriend and from abusive partner. And I believe we get on page DV. So just want to put that out there. And the hero is a hockey player. She's a nurse, and I think she tries to relocate to Seattle. Pretty sure she has like a friend there or something. And she meets our hero who ends up being her patient, and he's a hockey player. I really like to read like emotional sports romances. I love this cover. It is a really cool cover, and I've never read anything by this author. I've heard her name come up a few times lately. Next I have Not Made to Last by Jay McLean. I've never read anything by Jay McLean, but I have heard of this author for a long time. They write very emotional books. I believe they write more YA or like mature YA, new adult romances. So like not steamy or anything, but just very emotional. This author, the hero, actually kind of made his first was introduced in one of her duets, the Heartache and Hope duet. I don't know if that's familiar for anybody. Reese, I love a hero named Reese. Okay, this is like brothers, enemy slash rival. Ooh, that's fun. That is so fun. That just, we immediately can get some nice angst with that. Topics and some triggers, so look up your triggers if you're interested in this. But this sounds really good. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This is a fantasy romance. It came out, did it come out this year? Or like last year? I want to say it came out this year, and it got picked up by a publisher, so it's been republished, but it's still available on KU. And the audiobook for this one just came out soon, so I will be reading it. But this cover looks a little bit different because I actually did have this one downloaded at the beginning of the year, and then I just never got around to it. But the cover looks a little bit different. So I'm excited. I do want to read this one because I've heard excellent things. There are people that I just trust with my fantasy romance recommendations. Raven Here Reader, she is someone that I love to listen to, and she loves this book. So I will be reading this one. Like I said, the audiobook just came out, so I'll be reading and listening. That's how I like to read my fantasy romances. I like to listen to the audiobook and follow along, make my little notes, highlight things. You know how that goes. It just helps me to like comprehend what's happening better, and it's just, to me, like my preferred reading method for fantasy romances. So I'm really excited for this one. It's like really popular, so very happy for the author that she got. And then we have Alive and Wells by Bailey Hannah. This is the first book in the Wells Ranch series. So this is a small town cowboy series. I've seen this all over like Instagram, and again, these Instagram edits get me all the time because I saw some really good edits for this book, and I am excited to read it. The audiobook is coming out when this video goes up like next week, I believe, like the end of the month. So I will be listening to it. So some of these books I have because like it'll be cheaper, like $8 for the audiobook. If you have it on KU, you'll get a discounted audiobook price. So a lot of these books I have on my list because audiobooks just came out or the audiobooks will be coming out soon and I already have it in my library. So, but I love this cover. I love the purple. It's just a really beautiful cover and I'm excited. I don't know anything else other than it's like small town and cowboy romance. So, which I feel like we're calming down on the cowboy stuff. I feel like we're kind of like leveling out with the cowboy stuff. Silver Lining by Chaslin, or Chaslin. Chaslin, I'm not sure how to say her name. But I actually found this book last year and then I just didn't read it. And then Caitlin, librarian, she read this book and she was like, you gotta read it. You'll really like it. So this also came out on audio and I will be getting that audiobook very soon. But all I know about this one is it's about these, I think there's like two friends that go on vacation, like a cruise, and our heroine sees this man who used to be our hero who used to be her professor. And yeah, so like, I don't think it's current student professor, but like used to be, you know? So that intrigues me. It's happening on like a cruise. It sounds very summery. So this one sounds really good, fun vacation romance. Is Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. So again, this is a fantasy romance that I actually read her and she loves this book. And then I have some other friends, like I know Tori, Christy, they've read these books and it makes me very excited. I think Crystal's read this as well. And the audiobooks are out. Also, Jess from Honest Fiction. Recommend a fantasy romance and they love it, I'm immediately intrigued. I trust them. I trust their recommendations. So they get like the best fantasy romance recommendations. Those are my two fantasy people. So this one sounds really good. I do want to give it a try. Let me know if you guys want to see like a reading vlog of me reading fantasy romance. Let me know, I will deliver. Before We Came by Sloane St. James. This is the first book in her Lakes Hockey series. This is all over Instagram. Like everyone is obsessing over this series and over this author and I really want to give it a try. I don't know, I'm kind of skeptical to read this one because I have started to see some not so great reviews and I don't know, we'll see. But this is a hockey romance. I'm very much into sports romances, as you guys know right now. So I do want to give this one a try. It's a new to me author. I love trying out new authors. So we will see. I'll get back to you all. The audiobook for this one also just came out. So, and it's just much easier for me to read audiobooks. You know, I get through them so fast rather than eyeball reading. I struggle with eyeball reading. But these books are making me really excited to pick up my Kindle and read. Okay, the next book is On the Line by Naomi Loud. And in like the little blurb thing, it says this is a line cook romance. I have never read anything like this. I'm very excited. I have heard of this author. She wrote the like Was I Ever Here or whatever that series is called. That's where like that's her first series, her first set of books. And I haven't gotten around to reading those yet. But this is her newest release. It sounds so interesting and so unique. She says that although this is a contemporary romance, it does have some dark elements, and she does go in detail at the beginning of the book, so you can read those if you want to know about them as to what you can expect, and there is some darker content in here. So it sounds like she writes books that are very emotional, and she doesn't shy away from some of those like darker elements and themes, which makes me excited to try it out. But I'm excited. I guess these two work at a restaurant and they're both dealing with a lot of things, have some past, just have a lot of things going on. And I love that. I like to read about like a hero who cooks. So I'm kind of hoping that's what we're getting with this one, but very intrigued going into this one, not knowing too much, just how I like it. Someone kind of said if you like The Bear, you like this. I have tried to watch The Bear. If you know about that TV show, it's like huge, one of the most popular TV shows that's aired in the last year or so. And it's not my vibe, but just want to put that out there for people who like the bear. People upset if you like the bear, you're like on the line. So might want to check it out. Anyway, I'm very excited to, you know, try a new new to me author. Don't know when I'll get to this one. I'm not drawn to it at this moment, but it's just sitting there waiting for me when I'm in the mood. Next, we have Hold Me While You Wait by Kimberly Brown. Again, this book just came out on audio, so that's why I have it ready for me when I want to listen to it. I've been wanting to read this author for a long time. This book is about following our heroine. Sister and her brother-in-law dies, and they have a daughter. I believe she's 10 at the time. And so obviously she's like, well, I'm going to get custody of her. But her husband is not happy about this for whatever reason. What a loser. Our hero, who is a single dad, he connects with our heroine. Their daughters are best friends. And I think there's like a lot going on in this story. There's some ex stuff going on. You know, I think there's some external factors that's causing them some issues. So this one looks like there's going to have some drama in it. So anyway, I'm excited. I want to give this one a try. I've been wanting to read something from Kimberly Brown for a long time. And this is like not a part of a series or anything by her. She has a lot of books that have come out, but they're like part of series and things. So I think this one will be a good place for me to start. Next, we have Meant for Her by Natasha Madison. This cover is like the absolute worst cover ever. It's just cringe. But this is a hockey series, enemies to lovers, single mom romance, and that's all I know about it. This recently came out. I do like Natasha Madison. I've only read her Small Town series, but I haven't read any of her sports stuff, and I know she writes some sports romances, and I'm in a sports mood. I only have like 2 books on here that aren't romance books. So the first one is Keep Your Friends Close by Lucinda Berry. So I'm a huge thriller lover. I actually really like thriller, suspenseful mystery novels, and I've been in the mood for them lately. And I love Haley Hughes. She has some amazing recommendations. She's one of my favorite booktubers to follow for these kind of recommendations. And she loves Lucinda Berry. Lucinda Berry is a thriller author on Kindle Unlimited. All her books are on there, and a lot of her books are read and listen on Kindle Unlimited, which is just amazing. And I have read 1 book by her last year. I enjoyed it. And this one seems very like exactly up my alley, about these women who are like, they're moms, you know, these are like, you know, that kind of rich people situation. And they're all at a party, and then one of the moms ends up dead. So they're trying to figure out what happened to her. Obviously someone at this party killed her. You know, what happened, what's been going on, what's the tea. This sounds juicy. And yes, so I want to read this one very soon. And like I said, I've only read 1 book by Lucinda Berry, and I liked it, so I want to read some more. The other book that I have that's non-romance related is Jade City by Fonda Lee. I've just heard so many people talking about this. It sounds very interesting. I know this is a fantasy book. It says here, family is duty, magic is power, honor is everything. But people love this series. This is extremely high on my list. I need to like take the time to prioritize it and read it, but I just haven't done that, so maybe one day. I have Where We Promise by Ashley Munoz. This is a motorcycle club series, and I read the first book. I really liked it. The second book actually just came out on audio, so I'll be listening to that, and then we're gonna read Where We Promise. From my understanding, this is like a fake marriage romance. I believe it's between 2 people who have been friends for a long time, and I think they're like a part of rival MCs, and I think the heroine gets pregnant by the president of the motorcycle club, but she's like in danger. Like there's obviously some kind of reason why she gets married to our hero, and it sounds excellent. So again, we have like, she's pregnant but not with the hero's child, and marriage of convenience. There's so many exciting things happening. So I need to read this book. I've seen so many people talk about it and give it excellent reviews, so I can't wait to read this one. So I love this cover. I just really love this cover. I'm in love with all the covers in this series. Nikki Castle. So I actually read the first book in the series, and I wasn't even interested in reading more by her. But again, we're in a sports romance mood, and she actually has a lot of sports in her books, like the sports element. I hate when I read a sports romance and there's not a lot of the sports in there. I'm like, I want all the sports stuff. Obviously, like, I don't know. I feel like some people don't like that, but I actually really like it. And I remember her first book that she came out with, it was a lot of MMA in it because I believe she used to be an MMA fighter and she's married to one. Um, but obviously that was her debut. So I'm excited to read her newest release, see if how much her writing has grown. And she gives all the hot chili peppers as well. So this is a part of the Fight Game series, and again, we're following a MMA like gym athletes. In this book, our heroine, she's like 19 years old. Her mom is sick. She has Parkinson's disease, and her brother's in high school. So she takes care of her family, takes care of all the bills, medical bills, all that kind of stuff. And she has always wanted to. She's been interested in like MMA fighting, and I think she finally decides that she's going to do something for herself and try out a new hobby. So she joins the gym, and that's when we meet our hero, who is her coach, and at the gym, and they have this connection. There's a reason why they can't be together. They have their own reasons why they can't act on their feelings. He's older, he's like in his 30s, and so it's like forbidden, age gap, coach athlete. I mean, I can't really resist. On Instagram, these edits on Instagram will have you in a chokehold. They'll make you want to read it. And it did. It worked. Okay, next I have All My Love by Morgan Elizabeth. I have wanted to read a book by Morgan Elizabeth for a very long time. And this book is kind of being pitched as like Sweet Home Alabama meets The Notebook. That's all I need. It's like two of my favorite romance movies of all time. So that's all I needed to hear, and I'm in. So what I like about Morgan Elizabeth is a lot of her books have connections to like pop culture. Like she has a Legally Blonde inspired book, a John Tucker Must Die kind of inspired book. I just love it. So this book is about these two characters who they used to like live in the same neighborhood. Their parents used to be friends, but something happened, and like the hero is now like the outcast in the small town, and she's not really allowed to like date him and be around him. Like her mom does not want her to be around him and associate with him. But anyways, they date, they're in love, they're each other's first loves, and they both are musicians. Like they have interest in wanting to pursue music, have a music career. Something happens and they break up, unfortunately, and that's like years later. He pops back up in the small town. She's still there, but he's this musician now, this rock star, and he comes back and he tells her something that she does not know. Sweet Home Alabama is a hint. And so it's like their second chance at love, their second chance romance. I've read a little bit of this book and it's very emotional already, so I'm intrigued. I can't wait to read this, continue to read it, read more. I'm really excited, and I just have a feeling that I'm really gonna love this book. So if that interests you, check it out. Next we have The Love of My Next Life by Britt Benson. This is a duet, and I believe it's like step siblings, and I'm assuming, this is what I'm assuming, I have no idea. I'm assuming like the first part of the duet is like them when they're younger. It's also a bully romance as well. And then like the second part of the duet is them older, like something happens. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. But a lot of people have been reading this lately and raving about it. So I'm just waiting for the mood to strike to where I want to read this, because this is very emotional, angsty, and like that's what I live for. That's what I love. So I'm excited to read this one. And then the author has another romance, like a rock star romance, that really intrigues me. So maybe I just need to do like a Britt Benson video. Let me know. Because maybe I just need to like try her books out. Okay, next I have I Thought of You by Julie Ann. So I read Before Us, which I talked about in my wrap up, and I loved it. And I have not really liked any book that I read by Julie Ann. I DNF'd every single book I read by her, and I've tried to read so many. But Before Us worked for me, and I'm just very curious to see if it was just like a one-hit wonder. That's just like the exception to the rule, or if there are some books that work for me. I have read this blurb. I don't know what it's really about. I can't really figure it out. That's what her plots intrigue me so much because she doesn't really give anything away. And people have said this is a very like unique love story, and it sounds like our hero, like it sounds like our hero and a heroine used to know each other and then like reconnect or something, and she's in a relationship. I don't know, but it's angsty and emotional and kind of like an unconventional romance, which really intrigues me. So I'm gonna give this one a try. When the mood strikes, I'll give this one a try. King of Sloth, love this series. Every single book is really great. There are no misses in my opinion. I think you should read every single book in the series. A lot of people love the third book. I do too. It's my favorite in the series, but I actually like all of them. They're all really, really great. But this is the newest book in the series. TBR, like kind of thing. Hero needs some help. I believe it's like that kind of romance. All right, we just have 2 more books. The next book is Rope the Moon by Ava Hunter. Ray Ranch series. Tame the Heart last year is my first book by this author, and I loved it. It's a small town series, and it's about these, we're following brothers. His ranch, so the hero in the first book, his wife died, and he moved, and he, you know, started his own ranch, and his brothers all kind of ended up coming and moving to Montana to help their brother out. So in this book, we're following one of the brothers, and our heroine is on the run. She's from the small town as well. And our hero and a heroine used to have a relationship when they were younger, like a secret relationship. And our heroine went off to college, and you know, she hasn't been home in a long time, and they really haven't seen or heard or communicated with each other. And our heroine is actually on the run from her abusive partner, and he comes and helps her. But she's also pregnant. So she's pregnant, but not with his child, which, yes. So I've heard excellent things about this. It's emotional, which the first book was also quite emotional, and I really want to get to this one. I'm just annoyed with myself that I haven't read it yet, but I will read this one soon because I loved Tame the Heart. It was such a fantastic book, and it was like honestly surprising how much I loved it, just because I never read anything by her. But this series so far is really great, and this book has some amazing reviews, so I will be getting to this one soon. And last but not least, we have Older by Jennifer Hartman. This is her latest release, and this is a age gap, dad's best friend romance. I know our heroine is being like abused at home, and there is on-page abuse, so just know that going into it. And this is, you know, obviously forbidden goodness, so I'm excited to try something new from Jennifer Hartman. I've seen some, you know, so reviews, and I want to read it and see what I think of it for myself. I have a lot of books here. That's why we're not going through my Audible or Hoopla library. We'll do that another time. But let me know if you've read any of these books. Do I need to prioritize any? Do I need to like take one out, add some books that you guys have loved lately? Let me know. I want to know everything. So thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, leave me like a little stacked books emoji, because we have obviously an intense TBR that's never ending, and KU definitely contributes to that in a bad way, because I can't read all these books that I want to read. You know? So many books, no time to read them all. But anyway, leave me the little stacked books emoji to let me know you made it this far. But I will see you all in my next video. Bye.